Okay, John, I think this is going to be, what we're going to call it, part two maybe?
Yes,
okay,
sounds good.
Continuation of our introduction. And I think we want to talk about, you want to know more, if you wanted to invest in land, buying land, investing in land. And I use those two words synonymous. To me, land is probably the best investment there is. And by the way, the first land transaction, you know where you can find it? It's recorded
Where?
in the Bible,
Oh,
in Genesis. When Abe in the Bible was given the land, Israel. That was the very first real estate recorded transaction of land in the history of man, which is kind of interesting. You didn't know that, right?
no, I didn't. That's very interesting.
But one of the things is, usually there's a difference in owning a home and owning land. And most people that own land have inherited it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, your great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather moved from Stokes County, the county east of us, back in 1909 into Surry County, where we are now, north of Dobson, and your great-grandfather bought a 140-acre farm, which Interstate 77 actually took part of that, over 40 acres of it, when they built that back in the 60s and early 70s. And then from 1909 to 1929, my grandfather and great-grandfather bought 18 farms. They weren't contiguous, but 18 farms in what we call the Beulah area, north of Dobson. And it's almost 900 acres. And what's interesting is every inch of that land is still in our family. And it's been passed on 4 generations. And that's very typical of family-owned estates or land in the country. But most people, when they acquire land, they get it usually through inheritance, okay? So it's different when you're giving something versus when you buy something, right? So when a person acquires a parcel of land, and maybe their life changes, they move to California or to another country, and they have no interest, they got a deed in a lockbox, they're paying taxes, the fields are growing up, they're not getting any income off of it, which we'll talk about how you do that. But they want to dispose of it. So they need to find a realtor that has experience, like I and my fellow LLC and RLI members, is the best people to go to, because we are the land experts in the real estate industry, okay? And by the way, our website is www.rliland.com, www.rliland.com. And on there, all of our members, our 1,200 plus members, their information, contact information. So no matter where you are in the United States, and actually we have international participants, wherever you are, you can source somebody that's in the area. But this is where you want to go when you want to buy or sell land, okay? You want to go to somebody who knows what they're doing. It's got the experts, not somebody who sells houses and don't understand that long tail we talked about, remember, of all the stuff, okay? So the first thing you do is you got to get your money. I mean, if you're going to go buy land, how much money do you want to invest? You want to invest $10,000, you want to invest $100,000. What type of land do you want? There's all kinds of land. If you want rural land, something like we're in this environment, we're at the Armfield Recreational Park here in Pilot Mountain. It's over a $5 million complex on about 200 acres of land. And behind us is Tom's Creek, which is one of our water sources. And we have over 3 miles of trail and frisbee golf and all the amenities. It's unbelievable. So we'll probably be doing some more shooting down here because it's so pretty. But first of all, you got to have a budget. Okay, so give me a budget. What if you were going to go buy land? I mean, this is fictitious.
Let's just say $100,000. It'd be easy to work with.
So do you have cash? You have money saved up, or is there places you can pull it out of?
Let's say I had cash, and let's say I didn't have cash.
Okay.
We'll do one. Let's say the first I have cash.
Right.
I'm coming to you. I got 100,000 cash ready.
Okay.
So what would be my best thing to do with $100,000 if I had to invest in land? What would you recommend?
Well, the first thing is, what type of land do you want? I mean, what do you want the land for?
I'm thinking I want to make some money on it. Maybe take it and if there's any possible ways I can make money off the land. First of all, say any big nice timber trees I could cut. Is there anything like that I could get and use that money towards some of the purchase price, or to put it back in my pocket,
right.
Or maybe there's something with some nice road frontage that I could break up, buy, say however much land I could get and maybe break it up into smaller tracts and resell them and make as an investment wise. That's probably what I would want to do. Okay.
So maybe we want to look at maybe one of the 60 rural subdivisions that I've done as an example, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now, something that I talk about in class is highest and best use. That is a concept, and especially for land, you use it in homes and commercial too. But what is the highest and best use of a piece of land, and that particular piece of property, wherever it's located, okay? And the example that I've used over the years is example, maybe we purchased 10 acres of land, okay? And the subdivision laws, which you need to know the subdivision laws, and you can find that on your county website. That's what you can and can't do. It's sort of like the game rules. If you go buy Monopoly, you never played it before, what's the first thing you do?
You read the rules.
Well, you got to open the box first. John. Okay, come on. But you read the rules, okay? Right?
Yeah.
And that tells you how to play the game. Well, your subdivision laws, each county jurisdiction in the United States should have online their subdivision laws. So let's say, and we're using an example that you can make you can break up a piece of land, but for lots, but the lots have to be what? 1 acre minimum, okay? We're just using this for example, which would be how many square feet you learn in school.
43,560.
Good boy.
I
Richard
believe.
Petty's old car number plus 1 mile over the posted speed limit
And a zero.
That's the way they taught us.
Yeah.
Remember. But anyway, so let's say we're going to take that 10 acres. It's got good road frontage. It's in a good location, right? Growing location. It's still rural. You know, it doesn't have water or sewer, but it's outside the jurisdictions, okay, out in the county. But it's got good road frontage, right? It lays good, and the soils are suitable for perking because we're going to test that too. That's part of the process. We have either soil scientists come out like Joe Hinton, or we're actually going to go to the environmental health department and get the county to come out and inspect each lot. So if we're spending $100,000, right, for 10 acres, and we can make 10 1-acre lots, and we look and we see that 1-acre lots are averaging $40,000. That's pretty significant, right?
Yeah.
So you buy this land, John, for 10, for 100,000. We break it up into 10 lots, and we turn around and we sell them for 40,000 lot. So what'd you make? $300,000 less your expenses, which
Yeah.
aren't that much. Your expenses would be your cost of your survey and your soil work, okay,
Soil.
and then whatever marketing and if you list it with the realtor commissions. Okay?
Yeah.
So you know, that would be one example of using highest and best use. Okay. Interesting enough, storage units, believe it or not, is one of the best investments not only as a business, but the locations. A lot of land that can't really be used for a lot of things is suitable for storage units. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so that's okay. So you got your cash now, okay?
Let's say I don't have $100,000 cash, but I want to buy the same piece of land, and
Sure.
I need to go to a bank. What would you recommend as far as what should I do?
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't recommending even if you had $100,000 cash and investing that $100,000 cash in the land.
Yeah.
Go borrow some money. And Farm Credit, and we'll talk about them. Farm Credit, by the way, they're 100 years old this year. They were started in 1916 by the federal government to help rural areas around the country get low interest rates, have annual payments as opposed to monthly payments because they grow crops. You sell your crops usually in the fall and you get a lump sum of money. So they have programs where you have annual payments or semi-annual or quarterly payments, and crop insurance and to help the farmers buy equipment. At lower rates. But anyway, this program's been around since 1916, started by the federal government, and they wrapped it with Farmer Mac. You've heard of Freddie Mac?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, this is Farmer Mac. That's the underwriter, so they can sell their paper, and the federal government is tying that in just like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac do for homes, okay? So it's called Farmer Mac. So what they do is on raw land that doesn't have a home on it. The banking industry throughout the country, and as long as I've been in business and all I've heard for many, many years, is anything over 5 acres, John, when you go borrow money on it, vacant land, is considered a non-conforming loan, okay? Now what that means is everything's based on statistics, okay? And there's a lot of history in real estate in terms of just homes foreclosures and land foreclosures, and there's risk. There's always risk involved. And that's